Hey, everybody! Hope everybody, hi guys.
Do it quick.
Hi.
You want to come on the story?
Hello. So, thanks for coming out, everybody. It's fantastic.
We like San Antonio.
Yeah. Does anybody have like a smartphone? Yeah. So I don't know what to do. What do you want to just kind of start launching into talking here? Is that the idea?
Well, just a basic Q&A.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, just Q&A sessions. They're going to ask you questions, and you're going to answer. So, questions. I saw a hand.
Awesome. Do I have to call up people?
You could.
I'm gonna let you figure this out.
I have a question for David. I really admire your interaction with the characters when they rolled them. I was wondering if that was hard for you acting to develop those reactions if you're not actually seeing that as a character at that point in time, still at it later.
Hey, do me a favor. One for pronunciation, by the way. We often have to. We have a. It's hard to figure out how to pronounce all these words, so we have some other set to try to kind of keep us in line. Yeah, it was actually difficult, especially in the beginning, to know what these things were even, what these creatures even looked like. In the pilot episode, I didn't know, I had no sense of what these things were going to look like, and I just was told to react to somebody changing and do, we'll see, we'll figure it out later. And now, my characters changed in that when they morph, nothing shocks me, nothing does, I'm just ready for it all the time. It's like someone drinking a sip of coffee.
I remember I had to do that once, and it was some, I don't even know what it was. Oh, it was walking in the store in season 1, and Aunt Marie's there, and they were trying to shoot this scene, so it was really creepy, and my eye line wasn't correct for Aunt Marie, so they just put a pink post-it note there, and we're like, that's the scary person. That's not scary at all.
Yeah. I apologize, I didn't know that was for me, and then Bitsie said. What's that?
You said the coolest factor was behind the on the shirts.
Oh, yeah, I'm always teasing her. I love her. Next question.
Hi, thanks for coming to San Antonio. This is a question for both you, Bitsie, and you, David. If y'all could be any best in poetry reading.
Where are you? Oh, here. I liked the Mauvais Donk from season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cat, the saber-toothed tiger. I just like that it always reminded me a little bit of, that viral YouTube video, Ninja Cat, where the camera turns away and the cat's there, and I just liked the way the saber-toothed tiger moved, and he seemed pretty creepy.
Yeah, my stock answer is generally the blue button, but I'm going to go deeper for you. I really dug. Okay, so we're on set around all of these beasts all the time. Like I'll meet a guest star, and next thing you know, they're like decapitated and all. So it's weird stuff, and I'm kind of used to it. But when I saw Krampus, so we did a Christmas episode this year, and this actor was really good. He was an enormous guy, and it looked like something out of a what's the dude's name? Beetlejuice. Oh yeah, Tim Burton. He was this horrible Santa guy with like horns and he would steal kids, and put them in a basket in a tree. So it was incredible. The actor was, I don't think I ever interacted with him outside of his character, so it was just very creepy. He had a very cool laugh.
We saw the gag reel for season 3, which is really, really funny, and there's an awesome scene with this actor in character as Krampus being all creepy, and then he's looking, and then one of the horns just falls. And then he's just like, hold on.
Next question.
Hi guys, this is for both of you actually. Being a couple and engaged now on the show.
Not engaged, actually. I haven't said yes.
Not engaged, sorry. Is it ever difficult for you as actors with any relationship that you've acted on to act like you're in love or that you're in lust or just like anything like that? Is it odd? Like how do you guys get ready for that?
You know, okay, so as actors, you often have to like, you'll be like, hey, what's your name? Okay, great, we have to now fresh kiss. Bitsie and I had already known each other for years, really. We'd done a movie together where we also put another movie where I asked her to marry her, and she said no. So we had done this, we'd shot this movie maybe 7 months prior to even booking the show. And I booked the role of Nick, and I think I was the first person cast. And I don't know how it went down.
I texted you, congratulations.
And I said, you need to go in for this role of Juliet. She got it. Long story short, for us, I remember before we had to do our first kiss, because we didn't kiss in the movie, she's like, we can't just do it on screen, we had like, we can't just, so we like fake kissed in the corner.
Rehearsal.
Yeah. The reason I became an actor. So for us, it's been pretty normal and easy. And then everything just becomes very professional after a second, you know? Everything becomes normal.
You know, people grow on you. It is always awkward. It's just, I don't mean it that way. I never, you know, obviously he's very handsome and everything, but it's nerve-wracking at first when, you know, because we did shoot this movie and we didn't know each other when we were friends, but we had not kissed, so that's why I said, let's go practice beforehand, but I don't know, it's really fun.
Very sweet. So are you. I'm shy.
And the last season, and the last episode, Nick loses his green power.
Yeah.
Are we going to see him more of like a mentor kind of role with the young Grimm in the next season?
Yeah, trouble, man. I was in New York. I was visiting New York for the upfronts for the NBC upfronts, and this woman who was like, I don't think she's ever left her like street. She was so New York. She's like, yo, the Grimm, this is perfect. I love that girl, Danger. But yeah, I think that's kind of what they're going for. I actually really enjoyed working with Trouble. She's awesome. It kind of brings a new side of Nick out, and even on set, like Jacqueline's just so cool. I have a bunch of sisters in real life, and she reminds me of my little sister. Yeah, I think she's gonna be like my seeing eye Grimm.
We don't know though, that's what's kind of crazy. I mean, we go back to work in a couple weeks to start shooting and we have no idea. We haven't seen a script for episode 1. We kind of just don't know.
No, I know one crazy thing that's gonna happen that you don't know, and I can't tell anybody. I think it's gonna happen in like the first 3 or 4 episodes.
He's lying.
It's going to be nuts, and your character's not gonna like it. You're alive.
I think it's safe to say that my character generally doesn't like anything.
I know. That's a very good point. But yes, we love Jacqueline Taboni, is the actress's name, and she got cast right out of. Our creators went to go. The creators of the show, Jim Cowell and David Greenwald. Jim Cowell has a daughter at Ann Arbor, Michigan, and so they went to go like teach a class, kind of like a special thing. And they were trying to cast this new part. They couldn't find anybody out of thousands of people in LA and New York. So they found this girl in an acting class.
Yeah, they just said you guys wanted to read the material for fun. And apparently another girl who was a student as well also got fairly far along in the process. But they were mainly, as David said, auditioning in LA, and they flew her out to LA to read for network, and she got it, and she's been really fun. And it's her first job.
Very good.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I can just regale you guys for hours. Okay.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Where do you guys film? I mean, is it always on in LA or in Oregon, or do you want to go over around the world?
Where do we want to go? I don't know, Paris? No, I mean, we only shoot in Portland and sort of maybe at most an hour outside of Portland in the woods. Yeah.
There are rules about these things. Here's a little secret. A lot of the reason things aren't shot in LA is because states offer tax incentives. Okay, so like Portland does that. Texas does as well. There's a lot of production in Austin and
Portland's not a
Dallas.
state. States offer tax incentives. Portland does that.
Yeah, you got me. But yeah, so no, we shoot always in Portland. It's beautiful up there. It's actually very fitting for the show.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
I love your show. That following what you were saying a little bit earlier about you start filming again in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How familiar are you with the material as far as the scripts before the episodes and before you shoot them? And if you haven't had a whole lot of time, how much time do you need to prepare for the episode before you start shooting?
I mean, it really varies. As I said, we haven't seen the episode 1 yet, but once we get back, usually at the beginning of the season, we'll get quite a few in a row. You know, once we get back, we'll probably get up through episode 4 or 5 in a row, and after that, a lot of the time, which is difficult, you don't get a script until a few days before filming even, so it makes it kind of hard to really work on a script. I know David in particular is often so busy shooting that, you don't even get a chance to really work on your scenes for the next day until you are home from a day of filming.
Yeah, you kind of just take. The ideal would be to have as much time, like months, to like work on a script, and that's how it is often with movies. But one of the joys and also drawbacks to 22 episodes in a row is that like once you're 5 episodes in, you've been so buried in material that often you just use whatever you can, anytime you can muster, but it's often not what you want. But it also teaches you kind of how to pull it together and not be so intellectual about stuff and just kind of be in the moment, and you see that actually works. And you can get in your own way with over preparing something sometimes too. So that's it.
Hey,
No,
also love the show. My question is about the side effects for Baron Sunday when you were zombified. And I don't feel like they really resolved that. Do you feel like that's something that's going to be continued to be touched upon, or did the writers just kind of peter away? I mean, I know that I'm sure they're going to resolve, with the killing the one dude and everything, and the production that they have. But it seems like they didn't. They started with seeing this stuff with the slipping of the zombie powers, but it kind of seemed to back burner. If that's
yeah. First, I just want to interject quickly. So I don't know if you have any makeup on, but if not, you definitely need a shower of vitamins and minerals. I'm worried. Yeah, no, they kind of that storyline. You're totally right. I mean, it stuck out because they kind of stopped.
It's like there was
using
a
it.
jump, but no punchline.
I don't know if they're going to continue with that. I would imagine.
I think it was really more about let's just establish that his powers are now heightened. And so
Right.
he's sort of like extra drinky.
Yeah, except now, no grooming.
And then my question for Bitsie is, how much fun was it slipping into the character of Adeline for that?
How go ahead with me? How fun was that?
That was awesome, and Claire was a really great sport about it because I had to switch back and forth the entire episode. I needed to make sure that I was gonna really nail her mannerisms because it still looked like me. So I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware, if you're just watching it for the first time, that these are two distinct people. So
So weird watching it. She's walking just like Claire. Claire doesn't like her arms.
yeah, Claire has a very distinctive walk, and so Roberto, who's our main director producer, had sent me advanced episodes because Claire does something with her face that I don't really do either. So he's like, watch Claire's mouth, watch the way Claire angles her head, and watch the way she walks. And I really was just studying that for a long time. And then once I sort of had the gestures and mannerisms down, I actually was shooting a scene with Claire where we were alternating when we were smoking out of the hat. And I pulled her aside and I just said, well, you just read in your voice my lines. And then before I would shoot that scene myself, I would play the video on my iPhone of Claire, just on set, so that I could get the intonations in her voice down too. Yeah.
Hi, really like the show. Sad to say, me and my wife just bought the first season. So, I don't mind spoilers, it's awesome. But,
You're in the wrong room.
it's kind of funny because we all met, me and my wife fell in love with the show. Great show, real fun. And I just had to ask, our kind of favorite, not favorite, but real fun to watch is Monroe.
Of course, he's
Monroe.
insane.
What I wanted to know was, how is it working with him in real life? Because I've seen a couple of shows, on USA, he'll pop in, and he seems like he's always kind of, kind of jittery.
Yeah.
Like, is he any fun to work with? I mean, he looks like he would be.
Yeah, listen, Silas Weir Mitchell is the name of the actor. He is, nobody. We all understand on the show what a gift he is for our show and the things he's been able to do with Monroe. The character was written for him. I don't believe he even had to audition, it was offered.
No, our show creators, David Grimm and Giuntoli, had done, I think, a film with Silas, and Silas is a lot like Monroe. He sort of knows a lot about everything.
The new
He's
show,
really excited
everything.
and oh my god.
He was talking to me about buying a spittoon like an animal.
Yeah, so they wrote that role for him.
Yeah.
So.
His brain works in a different way, as a lot of people do. Bitsie does too. It doesn't really work. No, so he has so many words. He never once says the lines out loud when he's rehearsing them. He just thinks them. As does Reggie Lee, who plays Sergeant Wu. And they just do a lot of homework. They do a lot of imagination about it, and it comes out in that way. But he is very similar to the character. He is definitely acting that. He's not like goofy-go-lucky. He's a sweetheart. He's kind of curmudgeonly in a way like specific people are. But joy, yeah. Great guy.
Hello. Obviously, there's a lot of fighting scenes with a bunch of monsters. For David, do you have to undergo any training for fighting scenes before the show?
I was so not trained before the pilot. They didn't think the show was going to go. I don't think. They just yeah, let's do this thing. So the whole first season was just kind of which works for the character, Matt, we have a very good stunt coordinator named Matt Taylor, who's won Emmys and Oscars.
He was nominated for an Emmy for Grimm.
Oh, that's right. And he's like one of these guys who's father and grandfather were in the business, and they all had like stuntman names like Butch Magoo. So he has really helped me out a lot. So I do rehearse prior to scenes, maybe a day or two before. Now it's kind of like I get the moves, so it's kind of in me. I also have a really good stunt guy who looks so much like him. My dad was visiting set, and like waved to him, and he didn't wave back to my dad, and my dad got all like sad. Sometimes he's too good for me. So we have really good stunt people. I do all the stunts, I do them poorly, and then my stunt guy does them at a wickedly cool speed, and he helps me a lot.
I had a question for both of you. When the show first started, it was really more focused on David and you, but over time it really seems to become an ensemble, more of an ensemble. How do you feel that really evolved, and what part of that process do you really enjoy?
I think it's so much more fun. Well, you know, my character was a little different too, because season 1 I was being kept in the dark, so I couldn't really get that involved, my character could. And then in season 2 I was in a coma, and then I was going crazy, and then I was seeing ghosts and seeing Nick, and then I had the love affair with Captain Bernard, so.
That guy is a hottie. I wouldn't see her for weeks at a time.
Yeah. And then I loved once towards the end of season 2 when I finally found out and really believe it. And I think the most important scene was when Bud, who I love, Danny Bruno, great Portland actor, when Bud and Monroe and Rosalie warmed for Juliet. It really for her was seeing is believing. And then I just knew that from then on, you know, my character would actually be allowed in on the story. And I think it's been awesome with this whole sort of Scooby Squad dynamic. It's really, really fun, and we, you know, the scenes take 3 times as long to shoot because you have, you know, 5 people in a scene now, and everybody needs to get their coverage, but we have a blast on set.
Yeah, it's been so much more fun. It's been so much more fun. Personally, it gives me a little time off too, which is nice in that way, but it's also, again, I'll just reiterate what Bitsie said. Like, when the group is together on set, it is so, you sit around a lot, and it's just so fun to hang out with these people in scenes. And her character, they find that, like, she had a rough go because it was written in this way that she wasn't enabling, like, the hero. And now, finally, she has some really fun stuff to do, and then, you know, it's been fun getting to have her involved. That was, by the way, for you, such a spoiler, sorry.
Hi.
We all die at the end of the 3rd season.
I was just wondering if you ever get to use some of the weapons. Like,
Who was that?
just-
Oh my God! That's the reason I couldn't tell. Do I ever get like on the streets?
Take them home with it?
Like, when you're on set, do you ever get to just go into the little trailer, take the weapons out, and just play with them?
You know how movies are made, sir. I will say this, the weapons cabinet is very cool. I do not fight with them in between scenes. So sorry. Yeah, man, they're like extremely rad. You know, I'd lie if I would say I haven't like posed in the mirror with a crossbow before.
Well, you know what's really neat is the, I don't know, props department, but they, especially if you're fighting, because I've had, in the scene in episode 3 where I beat up the white leader of the guy who's beating my...
Not the t-shirt, the dude.
I had that skillet that I hit him over the head with, and they have to make every weapon that's actually real, they have to make one that looks exactly the same way out of foam, so that people like me don't hurt anymore.
coordinated human being.
Like, I was telling somebody earlier today that, because they're saying, oh, I love that scene where you get so involved, and I said, well, actually, in rehearsals, and this is true, and this is the problem with me and why I really, really need to work with stunt coordinator, they gave me an actual skillet, which is a big mistake. Within 10 minutes, I'd broken a light off of the ceiling, and I was practicing, and I was like, well, who gave me the skillet? But yeah, it's really neat that they just look exactly like little replicas on their phone. It's really working on that bad.
You still wake up.
This is a question to both of you. What would be your least favorite monster in comic book?
My least favorite monster.
Give it a slug.
Slug's gross.
Oh, and the guy in the Reggie, in the Sergeant Wu episode, when they were clicking, the guy right? Everything. No, I don't even talk about it.
Yeah. Anything that. It sounds so bad. I'm not gonna rephrase this. Because I had another gross one, the fly character. She really liked whenever there's like a small insect tongue. But the Oswald was the grossest because it like went into the belly button. But I want to ask you, wait, what's your name? Buddy? What's your name?
Andre?
Andre, what's your least favorite creature?
I'd have to say the guy with the horse. Look, I haven't even watched it a lot because I'm always at home.
He's never seen the show. He's just referencing what I already talked about.
That was around the first season. There's a guy with horns, but he's not really my favorite because he's not really grossy.
Good grossy, I love it.
He's not really gross and he doesn't look very scary.
Gotcha. Well, thank you.
Okay, this is for both of you, but first to Bitsie, I have two questions. One, how was it to be a young girl and have a name Bitsie? Did you get made fun of a lot?
No, I didn't. What are you suggesting?
I'm just wondering, it's just kind of an odd name.
Well, my first name is Elizabeth, actually.
Okay, all right.
But Bitsie was my grandfather's nickname. He was a bomber pilot in World War II and the Korean War, and people started calling me Bitsie when I was a baby because he and I were so close. And then when he passed away, when I was 12, I started going by Bitsie, but no, nobody made fun of me.
Okay.
Except for you.
There's always a first. Now, my other question is, I know with Monroe and with Sergeant Wu and all, these guys came from a show that I love called Prison Break.
Sure.
And I was wondering if there's any connection between you guys' show and that show.
Beyond, no, I don't think there are any producers that produce both of our shows. They just both happen to be really good actors, so they Yeah, I mean, Reggie Lee, this guy is unsung. I don't think people understand, like, he works so diligently. I remember I was flying up from LA to Portland, which is only like a 2-hour flight, right? And he was working on this scene. He was like writing down all his notes for 2 straight hours. I was working on my script. I didn't know what scene he was working on. We get to set later on in the week, and it's a scene where he has no lines, and he's walking down the hallway.
Oh.
He is like...
It's pretty amazing. I love, first of all, he has a beautiful handwriting, like just extraordinary, but I just go over to his apartment sometimes, and there's no white on the paper. He's just written. He works so hard, and I think that he, as David said, unsung, because he has made such brilliant choices when he doesn't have a line, or if he just has one line, and he can do it 20 different ways. He's just prepared for everything, and I was so happy for him, not only because he got to speak Tagalog and sort of honor his Filipino background, but in the Aswang episode that he had this big storyline and he killed it. He was just fantastic.
So he is fantastic. He was only supposed to be on one episode of Prison Break, and he started on the whole season. So.
And he's also been in Pirates of the Caribbean and The Dark Knight Rises. He's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the very
Oh, and